Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Shelly and I am so glad you guys are here. Today I'm using a brand that I have not used yet. I've seen it all over everything. Like everybody's talking about Blend Buddy Cosmetics. I did not buy the most recent Blend Buddy palette because when I was looking at the website and I was like, okay, well I can get the new one. And then I saw this one and I'm like, okay, but I like this one better. So this is not the most recent one. This is, what is it called? The Dollhouse. It says it is 30 Neutral Glam Shades, which sounds a little bit more up my speed than the new one. I was just, when I was looking at the promo pictures, I said, I don't know that I can get looks out of it. I don't know that it really fits in with me. Do I have things that are already kind of edgy like that I don't really need? Anyway, good news, bad news. Palette showed up. All the shades are in pristine condition. The mirror, however, is broken. Tell me that's not bad luck. Tell me something's bad luck without telling me it's bad luck. Out of the top of the gate, you have 3 rows of neutrals. And you have 2 rows of shimmers, metallics, that kind of consistency. I am super excited. I have never ever used Blend Buddy before. When I look at this, I see down each column, I've got pretty much a monochromatic or a very cohesive color story. And that's kind of my preference. I love the way they have it set up where you've got like transition shades, you've got crease shades, you've got your smoked out shades. I think in the new palette, I saw this row of dark rich colors and I thought, do I need that many? But as I see it in a column, I go, okay, that makes so much more sense. Sometimes I like to look at palettes like down diagonal, and I think that can get you some color stories. I also sometimes like to look at things in like squares. Sometimes I can feel that down a row. I don't think I can get an entire look down a row. If I go down a row of shimmers, I've got all shimmers on my lids, and that's not something I like. As a lady of a certain age, that's a tough one. That's a tough one for me. So I have already prepped my eyes with the Revolution Pro Eye Elements Central Eye Primer. I forgot about this one. I was doing a declutter recently, and I saw it, and I'm like, wait, this actually looks to be the right shade. So I have that all over my lid. I've given it a few minutes to set down. I think we're in good shape. Let me zoom you in and let's play with some makeup. Okay, I've got you guys zoomed in a little bit. My camera looks like it's focused. I've got a selection of Sigma brushes here. Most of these, I think, came with the Alice in Wonderland collection. So I figured we'd, you know, I don't know, let's do 3 looks. I think I have enough time to do 3 looks. So we're gonna do a look on one eye, another completely different look on the other eye. We'll take it off, we'll come back and do a 3rd final and cohesive look, which will get me to my meeting that I have to go to here in a little while. Okay, so I wanna start with, usually when I do 3 looks with one palette, I do a work look, a date night look, and then kind of a fun look. I gotta be honest, these greens over here are yelling at me right now. There's a shade in here called Figure that looks like the most beautiful, perfect shade of olive green. And then there's a shade called Chantilly that looks like the perfect shimmer to go with this. I love me a grungy green, so this seems to me like this would be, well, you know, it's the row that called to me first. I don't know what look this is gonna be. This isn't gonna be my work look. This is probably gonna be my fun look. No, yeah, this will be my daytime, non-date night, but not really work look. I don't have as much latitude to be able to do super fun eyeshadows for work. I'm a little envious of you guys that have a job either where it's, you know, blue collar or teacher or whatever else, where you can pretty much do whatever you want. Mine, it just doesn't really fit in the culture with the corporate environment that I have. Okay, that was a beautiful shade. It didn't really even get patchy, and I think this is my eye that tends to get a little patchy. Eyeshadow primer helps, maybe just a little tiny bit, but I think that's okay. I think it'll work with what I've got going on here. All right, I'm gonna take the shade right here called Porcelain. I'm gonna use that on my inner corner. That to me is my jam, 100%. I've been doing so many matte vanillas on the inner portion just to keep things sort of light and bright, as opposed to something shiny and sparkly and intergalactic. I'm gonna put it up here too, because I wanna lift this brow just a little bit, and I love the fact that they've given me something that is not gonna be too shiny. So far, Blend Buddy is not disappointing. Okay, I'm gonna clean out my brush a little bit, and I'm gonna go into the dark shade in this particular column. It's called Madame, this one right here. I'm guessing that's a brown with maybe a little bit of a green undertone to it. So let's see. Little tiny bit of kick up, not horrible, and going on super opaque. You guys seeing that? That looks great. Going on super opaque. I'm happy. Blending into that first matte olive green. Yeah, super smoky, which is kind of my thing. Probably a little dark for regular natural daylight, but we're gonna lighten it up a little bit. Okay, just for fun and because I haven't ever used this before, I'm gonna take Chantilly, which is this shimmery primary green here on my finger. Oh my gosh. Super creamy. Oh, what? Oh my gosh, that looks beautiful. Oh, whoa. Wow. That is stunning. I don't know if I should go back and purchase the other palette now, just based on how good that one looks. Wow. You guys, I did not get this in PR. Nobody's paying me to give you a review. I say that because normally when I get super excited about something, I worry that you guys think that somebody's paying me to give you that opinion. Nope. Nobody's paying me. I purchased this with my own money. I don't get anything in PR, or very rarely do I get things gifted. I'm going to take this shimmer right down here, which is called Pin Curls, and I'm going to use that on the first, maybe third, inner third. And again, I'm applying it with my finger and just kind of pressing it, and I needed to do a little bit of blending here between the two. Okay, that could go date night, but I'm going to call it my fun daytime smoky look. Let's put a little color down below. I'm going to grab a little pencil brush. I think I'm going to leave it with this lighter green here called Figure. I just picked up a little bit of it and I'm going to dust it under here just to give it a little bit more of a cohesive look. Again, application videos, not tutorials. And I'm going to grab the tip. I'm going to go back into Figure. No, Madame, sorry. Figure was the last one. This one's Madame. Darken up that lash line right there. You know what? For fun, I'm gonna put a little bit extra oomph right there. Wow, it's layering beautifully. Okay, you guys, I am, not that one, Shell, this one. I am super impressed. Let me get some mascara on. I'll be right back. All right, you guys, look number one with the Blend Bunny Dollhouse collection palette. This came very, very quickly. I've never ordered from Blend Bunny before, and because I didn't really know about them. And then I saw this and I was like, what? This is really pretty. Okay, let's do a date night look. Let's do something a little bit out of my comfort zone. There's a beautiful kind of raspberry row. There's a cool tone smoky row. There's an even cooler tone smoky row. I think I want to do this purple. I'm calling it a purple row because there's like a purple, like a dark purple and like a lavender color. And then you've got these two very, very fun foiled shades here that are a little out of my comfort zone. So I'm going to start with this one. So I'm going to take the shade Hold Me, which is this lilac color right here, and put a little of this on just above my crease. Brow. Yeah. I do pretty much the same technique most of the time with eyeshadows. Slight variations, but pretty much the same thing because I really like the way this shape looks on my eye. Sometimes halos don't really work. And the reason why is because I have small, I'm not going to call them beady, but I've got small, close set, hooded, mature eyes. I don't need them to look any more cross-eyed. So if I use a dark color in here, it makes them look closer together, as opposed to using a lighter color in here, which pulls them out a little bit more. Okay, I'm going to take this shade right here called No Strings. That'd be a marionette with strings. And I'm going to use that in my crease. A little lower than that first shade. You know, sometimes mattes are tough. Sometimes purples are tough to formulate. I'm not upset with these. I'm not upset with these all. And I don't think this was a horribly expensive palette either. I might have used a code like Trend Mood or something like that, just in case you're in the market for codes. I'm going to take the darkest shade in this column called Cinched. I'm going to use Cinched here, starting it. This is a little bit bigger brush than I probably needed to, but I'm going to take it out lash line with just a little bit. So far, so good, you guys. Now I'm wondering what else Blend Bunny has. Again, when I looked at this palette, I thought, wow, that's so much more me than the most recent one, but now I'm feeling like I need to maybe go back and look at the more recent one. I'm trying to remember what it's called. Let me look really fast. Okay, so the new palette from Blend Bunny is called All Done Up. It's a fall looking palette, and I love me some fall shades. And now that I know that I get the fact that they're meant to be monochromatic down a column, makes so much more sense to me, and this actually looks really, really pretty. 20 shade palette. They also have 4 lip sets, a cream gel liner, and a teeny tiny angle brush. The palette is $36. Let me look and see what, oh, there's another one. Noctilucent. That's all shimmers. I would never wear that. They have another one called Primal, another one called Blends, Surge, Dollhouse. Dollhouse is the one that I ended up purchasing, obviously, because it's what I'm using right now. And it just looked so much better in the promo photos. $45 looks like the price of it, just in case you're at all curious. Which is, you know, that's not free, but it's also not Anastasia or Huda or some of the other ones for the same amount of product. In fact, I think this has more than those other brands. That is super pretty. Loving that. Okay, I am gonna take the purple one down here called, almost, I was gonna say it looks duochrome, but I don't think it is. It's called Imaginary. So we're gonna take Imaginary. Yeah, they're very consistent formulas. And I'm just gonna press that into my lid. So when I do a purple eyeshadow like this, especially one that it's a pretty bold purple, first thing I think of is, do you guys remember the Muppets? Do you remember Miss Piggy back in, I want to think like the late 70s, early 80s maybe. I don't even think as far as mid 80s. They had these Miss Piggy dolls, puppets. I think the one I had was a puppet. And she had eyeshadow that was like a purple eyeshadow like this. Not as smoky. It was just pretty much to the crease and it was all purple. Anyway, this other shade in here called Glass Eyes, I'm going to use it. It's this blue down here. I'm going to use it again on my finger. I tried to clean my finger off a little bit. I'm going to put a little touch of it right here. Sometimes doing a bold inner corner can be super fashion forward, trend forward. And while I would never wear, not me personally, I have a hard time convincing myself I needed to wear a shiny blue eyeshadow all over my lid. That I think is stunning. Wow, I love that on so many levels right now. Let me take a pencil brush again and kind of clean it off. I'm going to go into Cinched, which is the dark matte in this one. I think I already did this. We're just going to put a little bit more of it down here. And then because that light blue transferred under my eyes, I'm going to leave it where it is. I'm not going to dust it off. I'm going to go into the purple shimmer that I used all over my lids called Imaginary, and I'm just going to connect that light blue to that dark matte purple. Again, with a brush, it comes in a little bit more diffused, not as sparkly, which is good because if it does travel down below my eyes, I don't want it to get into my wrinkles and crinkles. Okay, let's put some mascara on, and oh my god, you guys, I don't know which one I like more. So we've got a purple look, which would be a little bit more date night for me, maybe husband's gig kind of a thing. Then I've got this gorgeous fall green shimmery look. This could also be holiday. What did I get dark here? Could also be holiday, but I'm absolutely loving it. This is, when I think of grungy greens, I do this. This is great. Okay, let's take this off. Let's do one more look. If you want me to come back and do looks with the other 3 rows, let me know, but let me take this off and then we'll come back and do a third and final look. Okay, you guys, I am cleaned up, primed again with the same Revolution Pro Elements pot of eye base, eye primer. This could be a dupe for the MAC Painterly little pot if you were looking for a dupe of that. I would say that if you're not opposed to Revolution, then, you know, that might be something to look at here. I want to do something that I can wear the rest of the day that's a little bit more work appropriate, unfortunately. That makes me sad. So I've got the pink look, I've got kind of a mauve look, I've got a cool tone, super smoky look, I've got a warmer look. I think I'm gonna split the difference and do this one right here in the middle. A little bit more on the mauve side, but it has this beautiful pink iridescent shade right in the middle. So I'm gonna start with this shade called Pose. And because I just recently put on that eyeshadow base, I'm going to go over the majority of my lid. In fact, I could probably use a bigger brush to make quicker work of this. But I'm going to go over the most of my lid to kind of set down that eye base so that it's not super tacky. Okay, both eyes are now coated in that first shade called Pose. Vintage, which is the next one down. This is beautiful kind of antique-y mauve color. There's another one that's very similar, like the No Strings, I think is similar to this, but I think it's a little more cool toned and a little more purple base. That's right in here where I would like my crease to be. Slightly higher maybe, to give my eyes a little bit more real estate. Love the optical illusions about makeup, right? So have you guys purchased anything? I don't know if I asked you already this. Have you guys purchased anything from Blend Bunny? I believe that the gal that created it is like an influencer. I don't really recall. I don't know anything about it. I'm not even sure her name. I didn't really do any kind of research into this, did I? But I saw other people talk about the new palette, and I was like, you know, I'm a little concerned with all of those dark mattes, because while I need a dark matte in a palette for me, because I, you know, want to give my eyes some definition, just like I need a lighter color for inner corner. In the pictures, I thought they all look the same. I don't need 5 of the same shade, right? Or maybe slight variations, but now as I'm doing these in a column for one cohesive sort of monochromatic look, now it makes a lot more sense. Just kind of blending up that top, two colors be good together. I mean, we're blending well. I'm not having any issues with this at all. I'm gonna have to play with it again quite a bit more, I think, to get a good gauge for it. I'm gonna take this shade right here called Silhouette, which is the dark matte in the column. I want to say row, but it's column. Wow, that's so pigmented. And I think my eye might have been watering a little bit because I'm getting a little patchy there. Yeah, my eye. That is not the eyeshadow. That is my eye leaking. It happens. I think today I'm on, how many different eyeshadows? I have done 1, 2, this is my 3rd video that I've filmed today with eyeshadows, which means that my eyes have had eyeshadow on, taken them off, you know, the abuse. I feel bad for somebody like Shay, that girl Shay, XO, and she does these live swatching videos where she basically tries on every shade in a palette, and it just looks so painful. As somebody who's, you know, done videos where I've had to put makeup on and take them off and put them on again, I can tell you that it does do a number on delicate skin around your eyes. I don't know how she does that. Okay, so I thought this was, you know, a little bit warmer, but the colors are coming up as being very cool. And yeah, I didn't pick up the wrong column. Just a very cool. There's really one warm row in this palette, and that's the one with kind of like a coral color called Plastic. And again, really some beautiful shades. Do I need to do another look? Do I have enough time? Hold on. Let me look. Yeah, I mean, I'm getting there. I could maybe do something here. Okay, I've got a clean finger. I'm gonna take this dark purple right here, purple plum color called, it's called Dress Up. Wow, you guys, this formula is so soft and smooth and creamy and just delicious. I meant to do a work look, and I've gone now just full on smoky, packing a punch here, you guys. I thought this would be my, oh yeah, I can tone it down. I cannot be stopped. I have to go overboard. Okay, I'm gonna take this beautiful pink pearl iridescent called Pretend, and we're gonna plop that right in here. See what that does on top of that matte. Plus, with my eye being a little damp, wow, could have maybe gone into another color as kind of a transition between the super dark shimmer and that light pink. But that is super dramatic. Okay, taking it on this side here. Wow, that pink is stunning. I'm not normally a pastel fan, in all honesty. However, there is something absolutely mesmerizing about that pink color. In fact, I'm going to take a little bit more of it, a little bit further back. It's kind of a way to blend in those shades. Wow, super pretty. And I'm tapping it in on the end just to kind of blend it, not necessarily be like, bam. I got a little leaky over here. I think that's going to work for me. Let me put some mascara on. I do want to do another look. Let me put some mascara on. I'll be right back. Guys, this went full on dark exotic date night look. Super smoky, super sultry. I love it. It's just not really what I thought I was doing right now. I didn't think I was going full on exotic date night for my last business call of the day. So I'm gonna take this off. As much as I love it, as much as I would love to stay it on, keep it on, and I want to come back and do just something super fast and simple because I'm running out of time. So give me just a second, I'll be right back. Okay, you guys, I used instead of using that same eyeshadow primer as I used the first 2 times, I took a little tiny bit of this Milani Peach tinted under eye brightener that I love using underneath my eyes, and I just kind of continued that up on top of my lid and did a quick dusting of, I think this is the Laura Mercier translucent setting powder. I've just like a little travel size version of it. Here's the thing with this look. I want to use this row over here, and I think this might be one of the most perfect rows. You've got this beautiful transition shade, which is kind of like a little apricot-y color, perfectly warm. You've got 2 kind of like coppery bronzy colors, a dark color, and then, you know, like your inner corner. This might be the most perfect column. I think you could go either or with the 2 shimmers. I'm taking this matte, I'm gonna call it a little bit more of a pink undertone as my inner corner here. This one's called Undress, and I might even just dust it up here a little bit more. It seems like it's a little bit more of a pink undertone, but here's the thing, it is a little bit warmer than that. I'm gonna say it's got the tiniest peach undertone to it. Okay, so I'm using that on my inner corner, and then just I carried it all the way up to my top of my brow bone. I'm gonna go in, because I would tend to do things very quick and dirty with like one single brush. I'm gonna take this shade right here, this kind of apricot-y shade called Plastic. It's like a tan, warm tan slash moving into orange. And as I'm doing things how I would normally do for work, which is fast, because who's got time in the morning? Unless you're smart and super organized, I would rather, you know, sleep or even better, would rather be at the gym and then not spend as much time doing my makeup in the morning before work. So that is really pretty. It's too pastel-y for me on its own. So I'm going to go into the dark shade down here, and I'm going to pick up just a little tiny bit of it on the tip of this big fat brush, put it in right above my lash line, and then blend it and hopefully diffuse it in a way that it gives me that shade without being super pigmented. Wow, that worked really well. I just dipped back into it again, just kind of wiggling it up to give again that shape that I want without being like full bam in your face saturated eyeshadow. That worked pretty darn well, especially for a work look. Let's see if we can't mimic it on this side. Now, if I had a little bit more time and I wanted to do things correctly, you would use a smaller brush the darker you get, and I've just used the same brush. I do have a Sigma switch here, so I am kind of color switching in between if I feel like I need to. I don't sometimes feel like I need to do that if I'm going from lighter to darker, only if I were going from darker to lighter, which I'm to do. And I'm just building this up just a little bit more. What a fun palette, you guys. I'm so happy I got this. I am kind of feeling like maybe I should have ordered the other one while I was at it, but I'm on this like low buy, or I'm trying really hard, and so I know I don't need all the things or all the new ones. And frankly, the rainbow palettes that they have, I just feel like I just decluttered a bunch of rainbow palettes. I feel like I have enough rainbow palettes. I don't need any more rainbow palettes. Okay, so as far as the shimmers go, there's two of them. There's one that's called Mannequin and one that's called Marionette. Those are the two. Hopefully this will focus. So we've got like a copper color, and then we've got a bronze color. There's the bronze, there's the copper. I think I'm gonna do the copper one right now. I was gonna do the bronze one, was my original. I was thinking, oh well, I'll just do the bronze shade called Marionette. Yeah, Marionette. And I would just put that all over my lid and smoke out a little bit with that darker shade and call it a day. And then as I started looking at it, I'm like, but the palette's really pretty. As I was doing that, I managed to move my contact off my eye. So my eyes are going to be a little bloodshot now. Metallic shimmery shades are gorgeous. I don't know off the top of my head what they compare to, but whatever it is, that's going to be a good one too. Okay, while I wouldn't necessarily normally do something too sparkly for work, I think this is a completely appropriate daytime look. I'm trying to get the moisture from me moving my contact off my eyeball. Take that undress right here again. I got a little leaky. Wow, I love this. What a soft, pretty blend. I love the way they put these color stories together. Now I'm in a hurry. I don't mean to shortchange you guys in a video here, but I didn't mean to do 4. I meant to do 2, maybe 3. Okay, so there are 2 more rows in this palette, 2 more columns in this palette that I haven't touched yet. One of them is kind of a pinky, almost like raspberry color, pink color story. And the other one is very much cool tone, smoky, holiday, maybe, very much silvers and grays. If you guys want me to come back and do a look with either one of those, please leave me a comment down below. Also leave me a comment, tell me what you think of Blend Bunny. Had you ever heard about them before just a little while ago? Were they on your radar? Have you owned any of their product? Can you recommend them to me? Should I get that other one? Should I get that? I'm gonna have to go back and look. We have to have like an actual real conversation here. This palette is beautiful. It's not the new one. Sorry. When I was looking at it, I thought, wow, this is really, really gorgeous, and I am so glad I got it. This could easily be one of my favorite ones. It's bigger than what some people need. Okay. There's a lot of shades in here. There's 30, but they're all so very different. I mean, this really does give you a week's worth of looks, and maybe even more. I mean, you can easily go work to date night, I think. That's fun. What a fun palette. Okay, you guys, I'm super excited I have this. I'm glad I have it in my collection. I'm not regretting it at all. Tell me if you think I should try to buy the other one. I hope you guys consider sticking around. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button and just be kind to me, because I am a lady of a certain age. I'm not a professional makeup artist. I'm not a professional YouTuber. I'm working on that. You guys are helping me get there. Anyway, I hope you guys are doing really well. This is a great palette. So until my next video, bye for now.